Random Bits and Bytes blog.
Hey there, this is Mark from Random Bits and Bytes blog. Today we're going to review the Famgee portable camping alcohol stove and NA brand 9-plate windscreen. As you can see with the windscreen, it comes in its nice little container. These are instructions for the stove actually. The windscreen pops out easily. Just thread this pen into the little slots here, alternating ones on either side, and get it locked into place. As to the stove, it also comes in a nice little drawstring bag. Instructions, stand, the stove itself, cover, O-ring for it, and this, which allows you to extinguish the flame easily, or more like this. And also, if you pop this up, you have a little adjustable simmer plate for it. So, I'm going to fuel it up here. I'm using some cheapo dry gas. I'm not even sure what percentage this is. So I'm going to use it in a kind of upside down configuration here. As you can see, I lit it, and I wasn't sure that it was lit. That flame is invisible, totally, 100% invisible. There's some room temperature water. There's a little windscreen around it. And I'm going to start my stopwatch here. I'm actually going to show that it is running here by putting this piece of paper in there. So we're about 13 minutes or so. We're getting some steam, some bubbles. It's not boiling yet, but it's plenty hot enough for me for coffee. I'm going to let it sit a little bit longer and get a boil on. If this were 40 degree temperatures, 50 degree temperatures, it would be readily boiling by now. I did have to make a few adjustments here. The stand in the stove melted down into the snow. So I guess if you were out in the woods or whatever, you would want to put it on a piece of wood or stone or something like that if you were out in deep snow. It's dropping down into the snow a little bit more here, so that just shows you how hot that whole thing is. So in the last video, we had some pretty cold conditions. Took a little while longer than spring, fall, summer conditions. I'm going to simulate a little bit warmer temps in my cellar here. I wouldn't recommend starting this and using it indoors, but we're away from anything flammable. I'm not going to be running it too long. It's around 50 degrees down here. Now with this, I'm using a little rubbing alcohol, 91%, so you can see the flame, which you can really see down here in the dark conditions. Hopefully this looks pretty good. And I'm going to put the water on. And for this little demonstration, I'm going to use the cover, which is going to make it heat up much faster. Oh, and one additional thing, I'm going to zoom in here a little bit. As you can see, this has what's called the bloom, which is the perfect condition for this. You can see it's coming out the little holes around the outside. Real hot. Real hot here. Even if you don't get a bloom, it's still going to be hot if it's burning from the middle part. And of course, if you're using high percentage of alcohol, you're not going to be able to tell whether it's blooming or not. So, compared to the outdoor test, this is a significantly quicker heating, of course. I'm going to use my little handy dandy silicone thingy, which actually is pretty nice for taking with you camping or hiking. And you can see here, we've got some nice steam, some nice bubbles in there. I actually can see it start to boil at the bottom. Bad light here, so sorry for that. So this has been perfect conditions, no wind, moderate temperatures. It's really only been, let's see, only about 8 minutes. So we're starting to get a little bit of a boil under there. Got a nice little flame. Now I'll show you using the little extinguisher thing to put this out. You can see this, like I said before, this is some rubbing alcohol, 91%, and dry gas combination. So you can see a good flame here. It's running really nicely. Got a bit of a bloom around there, but the draft is kind of blowing our flame over here. But anyways, you can see it quite well and done and over with. Now this is going to be a little hot, so give it a couple minutes, cools off quickly. You can already kind of touch it a little bit. So not bad.